What's up, my Mind Your Money business folks? It's me yet again with another video on today's stock market news. And today, as always, hopefully you're in the market and not trying to time the market, because that's simply impossible to do. So it says here that the S&P 500 is flat as Fed signals it's in no hurry to cut rates. And the market is about to close in 1 minute, actually. And the S&P 500 is definitely flat. So let's get into the news. It says stocks gyrated following the Federal Reserve's latest policy update, where the central bank kept interest rates steady, and Chair Jerome Powell signaled it would wait to see the impact of President Donald Trump's tariffs on inflation before cutting rates again. So the Dow Jones and Industrial Average hovered around the flat line. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ were also flat. So the Fed left its rate unchanged Wednesday in a range between 4.25 to 4.5%, as markets expected. Nevertheless, it turned out to be a mixed bag of news for investors, as the central bank still signaled rate cuts this year while simultaneously hinting at a stagnationary threat. The policymakers forecast 2 more quarter point cuts for the year, but they lowered the 2025 forecast for economic growth to just 1.4% and raised the core inflation outlook to 3.1%. While Powell warned in a press conference following the decision that we're beginning to see some effects of tariffs on inflation, he also said that the policymakers are well positioned to wait before making any adjustments to rates. The size of the tariffs effects, the duration, and the time it would take are all highly uncertain, he said. That is why we think the appropriate thing to do is hold where we are as we learn more. So the Israel-Iran conflict. Trump told reporters outside the White House Wednesday that the Iranians have reached out and signaled that they would send a delegation to Washington for negotiations. They want to negotiate, the president said. They even suggested that they come to the White House. That's courageous. It's not easy for them to do. That is true. So stocks were downbeat earlier this week as the conflict between Israel and Iran mounted, raising oil prices. The attacks between the two countries entered their 6th day Wednesday as Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, I butchered your name up, I apologize, said that Iran won't surrender and warned that the U.S. will undoubtedly be met with irreparable damage if it enters the conflict. So the market just seemed very keen to fade geopolitical risk, Zachary Hill, head of portfolio management at Horizon Investments, said to CNBC. That has been historically the right thing to do. So I think that's kind of what's driving us so far today. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just looking at some other things here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the market. And it just closed. The market just closed, people. Let me hit refresh here. See what some of the stocks have done today. Yeah, so things aren't that great in the market. This year is started off great, and it's pretty flat right now. But either way, my information technology ETF FTEC gained 48 cents today, closing out at $187.68. That's good, right? I'll take that. Palantir gained $1.76 today, closing out at $139.96. Tesla gained $5.77 today, closing out at $322.05. Broadcom gained $1.89, closing out at $251.26. My S&P 500 ETF SPLG lost 2 cents today, closing out at $70.28. Nvidia gained $1.36 today, closing out at $145.48. Apple gained 94 cents, closing out at $196.58. Microsoft gained $2.20, closing out at $480.24. Amazon lost $2.30 today, closing out at $212.52. Yeah, and that's it for today, right? That's it. Yeah, what can I say? Well, what I'm going to say is that I'm going to continue to dollar cost average into the stock market every month. That is my plan, and I'm sticking to my plan. As always, I urge people to get out of debt. Get out of all forms of debt. Personal loan debt, car loan debt, student loan debt, credit card debt. Get out of debt. When you are in debt, you are a slave to the lender. Whoever you owe money to, you're a slave to them. You have to pay them back. You have to work and pay off that debt. So I urge people to get out of debt as soon as possible. In order to do so, you need to create a budget, and you need to follow that budget. Write the vision, make it plain, put action behind it, put that plan together, and start tackling that bad boy. Pay off all your debt, personal debt. Then you create and save 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Make sure you fund your kids' college fund. Ensure that you're investing 15% of your income into retirement. Then if you have a mortgage, start tackling that mortgage. Pay that mortgage off in 5 to 7 years. Now you have all this free cash, right? And then you can do what you want to do. You can live however you want to live and do whatever you want to do, because now you have full control over your money. You can possibly retire early. There's nothing like having control over your life. And so that's what I urge everyone to do, is to gain control over your life. So start thinking about it. That's why this channel is called Mind Your Money Business. Mind your business. I'm telling you, when you try to mind your business and focus solely on you, it is hard to do. Because we're so distracted. We're so caught up in everybody else's stuff. We're so comparing ourselves. We compare ourselves a lot to other people, and it keeps us from focusing on ourselves and minding our own business, to include money, right? So the more you start to focus on yourself, the more your life starts to improve. All right. So yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Let me know what you think. If you think anything at all. Disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I pretending to be one. So any and all information on my channel is for entertainment purposes only, and it expresses my opinion. So please consult with a financial advisor before you invest any of your hard-earned money, if you are not comfortable doing so on your own. But I urge you to start investing. Invest into yourself. If you're not comfortable with investing into the stock market, invest into real estate. Invest into something. You have to invest in something if you want your life to improve in some way, shape, or form. All right. So you guys take care. Have a blessed day. Peace.